Greetings, stowaways. The following episode comes with content warnings for parental abuse, gaslighting, manipulation, starvation and withholding of resources as a form of punishment. There are additionally brief scenes of graphic depictions of gore and mutilated bodies, death of parents, death of a child, death of a sibling. These are not lingered on. Please don't worry, it's not little Corzin. Thank you, take care, and enjoy the show. Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Flintlocks and Fireballs, where a handful of mad actors will attempt to survive the treacherous waters of Dungeons and Dragons. I am your host and Dungeon Master Jason Phelps, and I am joined as ever by Robbie, Angel's Wing Bellekom, Sam, Angel's Trumpet Burns, and Ellie, Destroying Angel's Sparrow.
Yay!
Today's,
nice.
although were those three not submitted by one of the stowaways, I would have gone with Angel's Delight as the obvious, continuation there. Thanks to Valeria Messalina from Twitter at Viper Messalina for today's three. All three of which are poisonous mushrooms. Maybe not Angel Delight. They used to think angels' wings were edible, and then there were some fatalities in Japan, so they got reclassified. So thank you for that. Thank you for that little tidbit there.
Someone
Turns
had a
out they
shit
were
day,
once.
didn't they?
Yes, several someones apparently.
I've been painting mushrooms lately. Maybe I should paint the angel mushrooms. That could be fun.
I was drawing mushrooms too. Maybe I'll do more too.
Oh, little mushroom friends.
We're in a new place. It's very weird.
Yeah, you may or may not be able to hear it in our voices. If there is a weird resonance, I apologise. We've literally just moved into a new recording setup.
I actually don't remotely apologise if we're a bit more echoey because we're way happier. So,
yeah, if it turns out in 3 or so weeks when we hear this, when this actually comes out, that we are a bit more echoey, maybe I might look into trying to put a bit more padding in. But otherwise,
Yay.
We are in a new place.
In a new town.
Yeah, we are in a new undisclosed town that is not London. Technically, I think it's a city, undisclosed city that is not London.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yes. I suppose I could probably reveal that we are somewhere in the Midlands.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
honestly, we could probably reveal the city like it's.
Yeah, it's true.
We're in Lincoln. It's
fine.
We're
in Lincoln. It's lovely. There's a cathedral. There's a bizarre number of religious buildings here.
It's a very nice canal.
Lovely canal. There's swans.
So many swans. Our current swan count is 8. We've seen 8 swans. That's fun.
Some of them may be the same swans. We don't know. We saw them on separate days.
There are a lot of swans.
Yeah.
So is the count likely to go up or down, do you think?
That down would require them to erase memories from me.
Okay,
I need to erase swan memories.
A bit of an ask for swans, I think. All right.
It's a little known fact. Every time you see a black swan, you forget one white swan. They just negate they negate each other like pieces in checkers.
Oh, cool.
The balance must be maintained.
One black swan jumps over a white swan, and it's just taken off the board of your memories.
Oh God, very strange. But yeah, no. We're in celebration of the new place without the street arguments outside and the motorbikes and the, all the other shit. A moment of fucking silence. Did you even hear that?
And for another moment
have you seen any of the Roman bits in Lincoln yet?
Not yet.
We're still exploring.
Yes, indeed. And to exploit that, to exploit another moment of silence, we're going to have that, but you get to have it filled by our demand to know. Feature us. What messages from the present? It's Future Jason with messages from the present. This episode of Flintlocks and Fireballs is brought to you by you. As ever, a massive thanks to our crew members and the Flintlocks Patreon who help keep this ship sailing. There's a wealth of extra content and bonus features for patrons, including regular blog posts, extra stories narrated by the cast, artwork, and a monthly poll for the community to help design an element to go into the game. Currently, I still believe an environmental feature. You can check it out at patreon.com/Flintlocks and Fireballs, link in the description. We are an affiliate of dnddice.com, makers of beautiful specialty dice since 2010. Whether you need dice because you're masquerading as a vampire, calling Cthulhu, or as some sort of Pathfinder gathering the magic munchkins, you can click through our affiliate link in the description and grab yourself or a friend some particularly sexy dice, or a particularly sexy leather dice bag. We're also an affiliate of Zavi, fine producers of nerdy garments and handy household items. Remember, you can click through the affiliate link in the description and use code FLINTLOCKS20 to take 20% off clothing and FLINTLOCKS10 to take 10% off not clothing. Once again, we're involved with the online group heist game Agent Venture, the most fun you can have in a Zoom call while keeping your shirt on. Pull off a heist, infiltrate a base, and save the world with only a laptop, an internet connection, and your socially distant friends. Check out the link in the description. And that's it for announcements this time. Back to you, Past Jason.
The smooth jazz version.
They're going to actually have a theme tune in like 3 seconds. Double theme tune. Congrats.
With that in mind, it's time to begin.
The
Flintlocks and Fireballs. Our land stands on the sabre's edge.
Our cities are a powder keg.
Brother chains, brother, no one's free. A life on land is short, you'll see.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.
Previously on Flintlocks and Fireballs, which Blumenek we're going to need because off air we've had a 2-week break.
Where am I? What's the D20? I don't know.
What were we doing? I don't remember anything.
Previously on Flintlocks and Fireballs, the party have saved the world for fourth time? It's kind of hard to tell.
There are probably so many that we don't know about as well.
Yeah.
Horrifying.
But you have once again stopped a potentially continent-destroying catastrophe. Having been at the Institute at just about the right time to prevent the catastrophic spread of the Blue Death, a parasitic mycoid infection that was seizing control of various hosts and threatening to spill out of the contained walls of the Institute and, consume. However, you discovered its one weakness, chocolate, and proceeded to successfully cleanse the Institute of the infection in what has frankly been a relatively bloodless conflict.
Woo!
Along the way, you managed to find some long lost friends and companions, or even just vague acquaintances. Make some new ones. Get someone to lose their job, who, in fairness, probably richly deserved it for the decades of kidnapping. Gave someone else a new job, and managed to secure the delivery via stealth steam barge of a shipment of weapons with which to arm the defenders of Newmark. It's the afternoon of the 18th of Falling Leaves, 1798, and as you saddle up, well, actually you don't saddle up because you still don't have a saddle, but as you clamber bareback onto the back of your not exactly ethereal, but like magically constructed mount/pet Kerberos, a gigantic dog, technically a huge-sized dog. You make your way along with Lady Grace and Viv. There you go, Vivienne, her bodyguard mage, back down towards Newmark. As with the journey up, unless you decide you particularly want to force march yourselves, this will take over a day's worth of travel. So with the energy you have, probably, because you've spent a few hours awake already, riding 6 to 7 hours, resting overnight and completing the final couple of hours in the morning. Probably in the early morning, actually, because with 6 hours of travel, you're leaving around 3 in the afternoon. You will run out of steam around 9 or 10 in the evening, which means assuming you stop at 9 and get some sleep, get a good 8 hours of sleep in, you will be ready to continue with your journey about an hour or so before dawn, which does mean that you will be trying to cross back into the city beyond the Osirian redcoat camps outside, just around the crack of dawn. So
That seems reasonable.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't trust them in the dark, would you?
Or the light.
I'm not sure.
So sort of in between sounds pretty good.
Not sure my trust is dependent on light conditions, if I'm honest, darling.
Yeah, it does seem like an odd sort of...
Also, we all
Thing.
have dark vision these days, so it's not even wildly relevant.
Oh, I wouldn't trust them in an eclipse. Or
Oh,
on a cloudy day.
yeah, that's a good point. Lady Grace is an elf,
Oddly
Vivienne is a half elf, so literally everyone here now has dark vision.
yeah.
Maybe not Kerberos, but even that's debatable. It's hard to tell.
Doesn't
what
seem to
senses-
bother him.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell what senses Kerberos does have.
Kerberos doesn't care what senses he has. He's busy dogging. Dog.
Yes.
Not dogging. That's not the word
That's
that I
a
want.
different thing.
You
That
have
doesn't
yet
exist yet. It's the 1700s.
I mean, it definitely probably does, but
No, but they don't call it that, do they?
I mean,
I thought dogging was specifically cars. Is it not?
true, the cars don't exist.
Have they been just getting like carts
Carriages?
and horses and
Yeah.
carriages?
Presumably some carriages meet up, like in a dark place somewhere.
Having it off in
Regardless.
the back of a carriage.
Yeah,
The horse was right there. Very excited.
Maybe that's where the phrase "don't frighten the horses" comes from.
That's what it is.
regardless, you have yet to find a sufficiently sufficiently gigantic bitch for Kerberos to engage in any dogging. Were he physically inclined or able, you're reasonably sure that Kerberos is probably like Marjorie.
Yep.
You've certainly never observed him to eat or shit. So whether he gets any other biological impulses is anyone's guess.
Really wouldn't like to speculate. That might be. Well, you know
Implied.
how. Nah, never mind.
As you're like right at this moment where presumably Scamp and Viv are like recasting their next Phantom Steed, Lady Grace looks over and goes, "You have the most remarkable conversations."
You have no idea. Like, this is us on our best behaviour.
Passes the time, doesn't it?
Reminds me of a long time ago,
How so?
back in the travelling days.
Oh. Well, you mean you were weird and dumb once too?
That's certainly one way of putting it. Yes, I had
We've all got to start somewhere, haven't we?
Indeed. No, She looks distant for a moment. I had similar friends, and they had not not incomparable senses of humour. There was one I actually did know a halfling, not unlike yourself, different style of things. It was what was the surname? It was Nagerson. There we go. Yes, Bolo Nagerson.
Oh,
We're very much aware of
So-
that family.
Yes. Fine family.
Corzin, you've not actually heard of a Bolo, and Bolo's a fairly common halfling name, but you don't know a Bolo Nagisson.
Yeah,
This
I'm
might
only
actually
thinking
be
of-
pre-Norrit's time.
Yeah, the only Bolo I think I'm aware of is that one halfling king.
Of course, it does occur to me that there's no reason that you can't have silly conversations now if you want to. You're perfectly welcome to join in with ours.
Absolutely. More the merrier.
I think I'll leave that to you for the moment, and
So you don't think Kerberos poos then?
I've not observed it, so... But mind you, maybe it happens when he's in his collar.
Collar's for
That's a good
spectral
point.
poo. I like this theory.
Although I suppose we ought to be thankful that would be a really easy way of tracking us.
You see, the thing is,
Yep.
Dave comments, you need to be aware of when you're eventually going to have to clean that collar out.
Excuse me, you're talking to the person that
how do you
cleans
even
monkey
do
shit
that?
out of their bag every couple of fucking hours. I think it'll be fine.
Oh,
Shut up,
Jeffrey,
you
are
smug
you
little
in there
bastard.
again?
Eating!
Regardless. So, you're happy to rest the night, and rather than pressing on.
I think so. What do you two reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
useless on a level of exhaustion. We might have some really
We've had a
important things
trying-
to do.
Yeah.
Couple of days, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you prepare. In which case, you ride till 9, and once again set up the. Viv looks to you, Scamp. Do you want to do the double-layered dome again?
Yeah, that sounds sensible.
All right, here we go. You set up the double-layered shelter domes, and I suppose actually one thing that's reminded me is that Celestia, you do have the spells remaining, should you wish to conduct a dream.
I do wish to conduct a dream
Okay.
to Enya.
Okay, so to Enya Silversmith. All right. You.
Unless there's anything people want to do first, obviously. Far away.
Nah.
I don't think so.
Okay. You assign your watchers, and Celestia, you kind of gather the spirits together, and
Yeah, I as ever, take my little bottle of Nemish brandy out, grab a handful of dirt and upend it a little bit, and then hold it out to the rainbow spirit. You ready to go? We're gonna go find Enya.
Yep.
Okay. Do you eat this sand? What happens to this sand? I know you like it for dreams, but do you eat it? What is it?
It's sort of like eating and sort of like being.
Do you poo?
No.
Okay.
Unless that is poo.
That's not poo. This is sand.
But then when I go into it, am I turning it into poo? Am I splashing poo into your eyes? Only Celestia and Corzin can hear this side of the conversation.
For anyone who's interested, this spirit doesn't poo, but is also confused what poo is. So that's fine.
Well,
This
they
is-
don't have fleshy bits, do they?
You don't have fleshy bits, do you?
The rainbow spirit kind of bundles together the multitude of ribbons and briefly forms an outline of Celestia. Wiggles a bit. It's like Celestia, if Celestia was one of the inflatable arm flailing tube people.
Oh, well. I stand corrected. That's very obviously me, and I'm not real.
Oh, I know you're not real.
Excuse me. What do
What?
you mean I'm not real? Are you real and I'm not? How does this work?
I'm just dreaming you.
It's a conspiracy. Would you like some sand poo?
Am I real?
Before answering Scamp.
The answer, Scamp, is probably.
Before they can answer Scamp's question, the rainbow spirit just dives into the handful of sand, which glows various rainbow colours, which you then like shove into your face, basically.
I always picture that it flicks it at me. I don't know.
Yeah, just like as you look at it for a moment, and then it goes like a cloud of fine, multicoloured sand blows
I've
into Celestia's
definitely
face.
been too stupid to lie down because I've been kneeling up talking to it, so I just like face plant.
You just smack straight into the bed.
Too busy
into the
giggling
bedroll.
to have remembered. Like,
I will attempt to rearrange her into a slightly more comfortable position.
I will put her finger up her nose.
You do so. Okay, so yes, Celestia, roll a d20 for me, please.
19.
Okay. You sink backwards into sleep, into slumber, into... No, that's not quite right. Kind of like
DJing.
a cold... Yeah, into rain. You feel just the pitter-patter of rain all over you as you open your eyes.
I take my finger out of my nose. What was that doing there?
Yes!
You are in a city of some sort. The buildings are broadly modern, like the kind you're used to seeing, like back in Seoul, like in the heart of Alisont. But they just go up and up and up. Although you can't look up too far because you just get rain in your eyes. They're not all this as well. Like they fade after a while. And the weird thing is, everything is monochrome. Not black and white, but like a kind of bluish grey. Shades of like a desaturated blue. It feels sorrowful being here. The streets twist off in different directions, and sometimes you catch echoes of people walking through the rain before they fade. The rainbow kind of fleck at your finger points you down the street, and you continue wandering through it.
I sort of try and talk to the rainbow spirit and see if it still works when it's in me.
Okay.
Can I still talk to you like this? How does that work?
A pause. A longer pause.
Hello?
You know, I don't know, you feel yourself say.
Oh, that's weird.
It is, isn't it? Your mouth just moves.
Can you make me move?
I mean, do you want me to?
Just once, out of interest.
You just feel yourself take a step forwards and then jump in some puddles.
I mean, as movements go, that was pretty good. If you could not do that on a regular basis, though, I'd really appreciate it. That's actually quite scary.
Mm-hmm. You feel yourself, and then after a pause, you say, yeah, that's why I don't do that.
Thank you. That's respectful and nice.
Wouldn't be very fun.
No, you're not that type, really, are you? You're much more fun.
Mm.
Should we go and find Enya, then?
Mm-hmm. This way.
Okay.
You feel, it's very slight, but like you feel like your fingers slightly point in the direction. And you begin wandering. You kind of go, there's a pause before your mouth says, sorry, this is really the only way I can talk.
That's okay. You might want to, stay a bit quiet with Enya, though. I don't know. I feel like she might get a bit scared.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I could just explain to her.
No, I'm fine.
No, bugger it. If you want to talk, I'll explain. You talk if you want to. That seems weird otherwise.
Thank you. Mostly I'm just happy to see what's going on.
No, I don't want to make you stay quiet. You're not a quiet sort of spirit.
Not really.
No.
But thank you.
It's alright. Also, other people can hear you right now, which is interesting. Kind of fun to have someone to talk to in here.
Oh, there's lots of people to talk to in here. They're all just sort of busy.
I mean, someone who came with me.
I mean, I've been here a few times.
Oh, I know you always come with me, but we usually can't talk. This is new.
Yeah. Oh, sometimes I come with... I've come with Corzin a few times when you've sent him.
Can you talk at the same time as me?
Uh,
Okay, let's say hello after 3 and see if it works. 1, 2, 3. Hello.
Hello.
And it doesn't work, does it?
You've only got one mouth.
Oh, that's true. I was wondering if you'd do a cool magic thing and I'd have like 2 voices, but apparently not.
Could you do that normally?
No. I mean, technically, yes, with illusions, but it wouldn't be like coming from my vocal cords. It would actually be coming from you.
Yes. But this is... I mean, like, I've got your mouth at the moment, so you don't normally have 2 mouths?
That's true. I don't think I want 2 mouths either. That'd be quite scary.
Yeah.
Right, where's Enya then?
Oh, yes. Just round here, I think.
Sad looking town, isn't it?
This is where Sad lives.
Yeah. Pretty, but sad.
Oh well, let's go find Angry.
Okay.
As you turn a corner,
Oh dear, oh
see
dear.
that sections of the city have started to crumble round this corner, and the thick rain is starting to drive harder. It's become more slanted. There is a more... you can hear distant sounds of rumbling thunder and such things. Crackles in the distance of lightning.
You're right, it is angry here.
It's still monochrome, but things are turning to a more purpley colour.
It's got like warmer.
No, I don't really spend a lot of time here. Sometimes.
Do you just come into the Dreamfold sometimes? Is that what you're saying?
Well, this is a sort of in...
Like while I'm sleeping, do you do that?
Like I used to come here
Oh,
back in the day.
before we met.
Yeah, no, I didn't remember a lot of it. You don't really remember things when you're just wandering.
Where are you from?
Oh, well, it's not... it's on the other side of this.
Oh, which bit?
The other side of this.
The other of this town or of the Dreamfold?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm like you. I can see this. I can see your side of it.
I don't get what you mean.
I don't think I can really explain it very well. I'm not that sort of. I'm not that sort of person.
That's okay. You're you.
But this you can kind of. This is. You can come here, and I can come here, And I can kind of see you.
Oh, so you're sighted, but the other way.
I think so.
In my world, right?
Mhm.
You've probably heard this because you've been in my world for ages, but we call people who can see spirits sighted, right? So you're sort of the other way sighted. You're a spirit who can see people in here.
I think so.
Wow!
I mean,
Why have I never thought of that being a thing?
well, you don't see a lot of us.
No. Do most of you live here then?
No. Other side
Other side?
of this. This
This is the middle.
Yes.
The dream folds the middle and there's another side.
I think, I don't know. It's hard. We don't. So remembering things is sort of your thing.
You don't really do memory.
Not unless we've got a shape to remember into.
Am I a shape?
I think you're letting me borrow your shape.
Okay, but you don't have a shape.
I mean, I have a shape.
Your
but
shape's cool. I love your shape. It's very
I
colourful.
like my shape, but you let me have more shape.
Oh. I think in a way you let me have more shape too. I feel like we're more part of each other lately than when we met.
We are.
Is that okay? With you, I mean?
Yeah, think so.
It's okay with me.
It's been fun.
I like being with you.
I like being you. It's fun.
Being me, we each other a bit now.
Maybe.
I'm weirdly okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
We make a good team.
Hmm.
What if one of the people from my side went to your side? Like, can that happen, or will we just like explode or turn into a spirit or something?
The words I would use for this don't make sense. So,
You could say them anyway.
no, that if I were to use words you have, can water be fire?
No, because it's water.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I guess it would be like a riverbank. So you've got land and you've got sea,
Yeah.
and sometimes you have the fishy things with the long snouts that we've heard about that
Fishy things with the long snouts.
that like come up and they eat things that are walking on the side of the river.
Oh, like crocodiles.
That's the word. Yes.
It's an amazing description of a
Yes.
crocodile.
And sometimes you've got the people with the nets who sit on the side, who walk by the river and they get things.
Catch them.
Yes. But the fishing people are from the land
Yes.
and they dip into the water.
Yes.
And the peopling fish are from the water and they dip onto the land.
Yes.
But I guess you're thinking about something that's, I don't know, maybe a duck?
Did you just compare a duck to the idea of somebody going over to the spirit world? If that's what it's called. Does it have a name?
That's your name for it, I guess.
Okay. But like I couldn't go over there.
No. You can't. You're a fisherman. You're like a fish person. You're a fishing person.
Yeah.
If I'm a personing fish.
So, if I go into the water that you live in for long enough, I will drown because I can't breathe underwater. But I can breathe underwater because Scamp casts water breathing on me every. This metaphor's getting away from me.
Imagine it's not water. Imagine it's rock.
I can't live in rock regardless of what I do to myself. Okay, yep,
Yes.
got it.
And if I lived in, and if, but to me, your side of the river is rock, and I'm in the not rock.
My head hurts.
But the point is, water can't be fire, fire can't be water. So something that could be in both would have to be something else.
Are you not quite a spirit and I'm not quite a person then?
I'm like wet fire and you're like steam.
Huh. Wet fire is not really a thing, but you're a thing, so...
You don't have the words, so I can't use them.
It's okay. I like your words. That's interesting. So,
I know, I didn't used to realise half of this.
it's really cool. You're getting really clever. Not that you weren't clever already, but you're getting like articulate clever. It's like different clever. It's really interesting.
I've got a really good sense of you, so I can borrow your words.
Yeah, you can borrow my words anytime.
Oh.
So if something really bad happened in the world where I'm from,
Mm-hmm.
all the spirits could run away to your world. Like, say there was a big boom or whatever, like we've seen in the visions. I mean, I think you were there with me, weren't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Say there was a big boom. One of the things that I noticed in that vision was that there weren't any of you. Could you all have run away back to the other side?
If something happened on my side, could you run back to your side? You're already here.
Yes.
Or there, because we're not here. No, right now we're a
We're
duck.
in the middle.
Yeah, we're a duck right now.
We'd make a lovely duck.
Quack, quack.
Quack.
I don't know what happened. Or will happen, or might happen. I think it's a might happen.
I think it's a might happen, and I hope it's a might happen.
I don't know. I think... You said, could I come to you? Like, could I be on your side all the way?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it would be like, if I'm in the water, it would be like filling a jug up with water and bringing it out. That's the only
That's
way.
how you're with me most of the time.
No. You've got a foot in the stream. And
Okay.
I've got a bit of stream around your foot.
Oh. That's
But
cool.
if you were to, if you fill a jug with water and take it out, then the water's not in the stream.
Mm.
Because it's not like I'm a fish, it's more like I'm the stream.
You're the water.
In the way that you're the land. You're part of it.
Together we're horrible, weird slush.
Mud. We're a duck. Together we almost make a duck, but
the
we
best
don't.
duck. We're a duck. I don't have anyone saying otherwise. Am I ever going to explain this conversation to anyone?
I don't know.
Maybe that's okay. Very interesting.
Thank you. You're
Not that
very
you weren't
interesting.
always, but talking to you is really interesting.
Well, talking to you is interesting, so I can be interesting.
Yes. Oh. should really do what we're here to do, shouldn't
Oh,
we?
yes,
We're
just
getting
through here.
far too distracted. We're not going to get any real sleep.
You step through a ruined sort of archway onto the edge of a pier, a smashed up pier in front of roiling water, and you can see there is the echoing form of a young dwarf woman. It doesn't. You can see how this girl will one day become Ellie, but as she is right now in whatever dream she's having, doesn't quite look right.
Touch the rainbow spirit again. Is Enya angry? Or is she sad?
Yes, and yes.
Okay.
We're on the border place between angry and sad.
Ah,
You feel your hand like lift and point up to the purple sky. You come here sometimes.
yeah. I think I come here a fair amount.
It's part of the rainbow.
I love you.
I love you too.
Thanks for liking all the colours and not just expecting me to be the happy ones.
You feel your mouth do.
Purple's a good colour.
You just can't be purple all the time.
Yeah. Well, let's go talk to Enya.
You step, as you get close, you see like a sort of flickering edge of the dream bubble around her, and as you pass into it, the scenario changes. You see a frightened-looking dwarf girl, and a girl like only the faintest like bits of chin fuzz have started to come in. Like she's pretty young.
Enya. Hey. It's me. I said I'd come, remember?
She frowns for a moment.
I'm a friend. It's alright. You're not alone.
You're a friend.
Yes. We
And-
met once.
Did we?
Yeah, it's okay. Big day. You don't need to remember.
Everything. I feel like I'm lost.
You're lost.
Like I can't. I need to get somewhere.
Do you know where?
I'm trying to find someone. I can't remember who.
Okay, what does it feel like? Does it feel like you're looking for a friend or for a family member?
I
or
think family?
family.
Yeah.
Okay. Older or younger?
I think older.
Older.
Right?
Parent or a grandparent?
I don't
or...
know. But there's the monsters. I can't go to the water. The rain, by the way, continues into this place, wherever this is, and the buildings are not too far from modern, but this feel that the air is cold and wet and salty. You can hear some sort of chaos going on in the distance. Shouting, things being torn up, powerful winds. It's familiar.
Enya, is this a Kraken attack?
It's just stories.
It's not.
I can't go to the water.
Okay. What's in the water?
It's can't go. There's something there. Look out! Points behind you, and you turn back and you see in a flash of lightning that just shows, illuminates behind you the massive crab-like form of a chul. Huge, chitinous, lobster-like claws, the strange tendrils coming from its maw. It's gonna, and it just tries to pincer you. I'm gonna make an attack roll.
Okay, I don't want to do something bad.
no.
Yeah, roll
no.
initiative.
Yeah. What's my initiative modifier? It's been a couple of weeks. Right, 23. There we go.
Okay, you get to act first.
I think I just panic and flick out with the rainbow spirit and shock and grasp it.
Okay, roll attack.
Oh, it's not very good. Oh no, actually my spell attack's really good, isn't it? That's 21.
21 hits, roll damage. And
Oh
this
god,
also-
Robbie, what's shocking grasp damage? I don't do it that often.
I want to say 3d8. Hold on.
Yeah, 3D.
Yeah, I think it is.
Spells.
Awesome.
Yep.
12.
12. Okay, with a crackle of you just flick out your hands, and you don't have you forget to. I'm going to say.
I think the hand goes back for
Yeah,
the guitar and
you
then
don't
comes
go
back
back
with
for
the
the-
rainbow spirit.
Yeah, you go back to
Yeah.
the guitar, and as you pull it forwards, I mean, the guitar is here because your equipment is here, but it's like you pull the spirit of the guitar out instead.
It's like a rainbow hologram.
Yeah, a rainbow hologram of the guitar reaches forwards and just flicks forward like a bolt of lightning. It strikes backwards. 23 damage, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Uh,
The damage was
12.
12.
12,
Yeah,
sorry, I didn't know
23
where I
was
got
what
the
I rolled
23.
on my attack.
I got it, 12
or my
damage.
initiative or
Okay,
something. Yeah.
You see it strikes it, and it cracks the chitin a little, and the chul just shudders, and as if its movements become jerky and uncoordinated for a moment. So you've denied it its reaction if you want to move.
Yeah, I kind of want to offer Enya a hand and just start running away with
Okay,
her.
yeah, no, she grabs it, and you just
Time to go!
right, and you just start racing down to the street. I would like athletics or acrobatics from you, please, to try and escape the chul that just bursts into a chase.
Acrobatics, definitely. 24.
Okay, rolling for Enya.
Publish athletics because blood magic.
Okay, 24 is good enough. Enya is not that good, that capable, but you rolled high enough to counteract the chul bursting out of the alleyway. You see that there's just a pile of crates and so on. You leap up onto them, lift Enya up, leap off and into the rain through a press of scurrying people, and as you see the chul just punch its pincers through the crates, splintering them, and begins charging after you. The chul is going to continue the chase. Roll. I'm going to say there is a thick press of people coming towards you now.
I might throw a darkness back at it.
Okay.
I've not done that today.
You stretch backwards, and the magic is weird here. It doesn't work like normal. Instead, sections of your own charcoal grey skin seem to just turn into moisture and flick backwards like ink, which bursts into a cloud behind you.
Oh, that was weird.
Yeah, it is, you say.
So weird. Anyway,
What are you talking about? That's everything's going wrong.
everything is going wrong, but it's okay.
You hear a confused behind you as the chul gets tied up in the darkness and confused. you find yourself at a fork in the road. To the left, you can hear the sound of the raging, roaring sea. To the right, there is deeper, more convoluted city. Young Enya looks terrified of the left.
Enya, where are we going? This is your dream. There's something you've forgotten. You wanted help.
Roll again. We can't go to the left. That's where he is.
You wanted to remember. You asked.
She shakes her head, terrified.
I'm not going to make you.
The Chul! You look back and you see the Chul is just standing in front of the darkness, looking almost a little confused as to how it got here, but then seeing you and starting to move towards you.
Okay, let's go to the right.
You turn right. Thank you. This time you see bursting out of windows, breaking windows and a door, a roaring tide of water. But the tides are strange. They're like half-shaped, like dolphins, like sharks, like octopi. You see the elementals coming for you this time. The elementals are forming a wall ahead of you, racing towards you. Behind you can see the Chul starting to scramble up.
Enya, darling, I don't want to pressure you, but we really have to go left here. There's nowhere else to go.
Bad things happen.
I know, but I'm here.
Okay.
We can do this, okay?
She grips your hand tightly.
And if you want to turn back, we turn back.
She nods.
Come on, I've got you.
You lead her scurrying to the left. You can see the rising tide, the crashing against the of tide against the pier. The pier by this point is shattered into toothpicks. There are a lot of dead here. You can see more Chul just picking up bodies, biting off heads. You can see elementals drowning people, pulling them into the waters. You see actually a handful of what look like Sawagin riding up and just ransacking things, stealing what they can, or some attacking people. But all of this seems a little blurry in the haze of the rain. What's clearer is the route going forwards. There is battle raging around you in chaos, but the Chul that was chasing you seems to pull back a little. It still feels like it is chasing you, but it just can't quite reach you. It's not quite here. And you can see, although weirdly, right up ahead, there's just a solid curtain of rain.
A lot of rain.
It rained a lot. It was raining the whole day.
Yeah, it will have done.
We wanted to. I don't even remember why we were. I think we were just buying fish. I think I wanted monkfish.
Mm-hmm.
It was there was some sort of special day.
Like a holiday or a birthday or...
Yes. She kind of steps forward in a haze. You look to one side and more clearly in focus there's a shattered fishmonger's stall. Just fish scattered on the ground. You see a chul just licking up fish with its tendrils.
Enya,
Yes.
this is your dream. I'm not changing anything right now. But I can. So, if this gets too much and you want it to stop, you just let me know, okay? But you awake. You talk to me and you seem to want a way out of always having the same dream. And I think it might be that we have to go this way. But if it's too much, you just tell me and I'll take us somewhere else, alright?
Okay.
You're in control here.
I wasn't.
I know, but you are now.
She looks to the left. You see a glimpse of an older looking male dwarf strewn across the cobblestones.
Who's that?
Papa?
Oh, shit. I'm sorry.
She stumbles forwards with you. To the right, half of a maybe a little more than half of a dwarven woman.
Who's that?
Mama.
Fuck.
They didn't come for them.
Who didn't? What do you mean?
The grey curtains of rain stand ahead of you.
Do you want to go in?
No.
Of course not. We don't have to. But if you want to, I'm here.
She looks back at the chul, like lumbering towards you. I'm always going to be turning right, aren't I?
I think maybe until you choose to turn left, yes. I think maybe that's how it works.
She squeezes your hand.
Squeeze back.
It's not a girl by you anymore.
Not that impression, strangely, yeah.
You can. There's no visible transition, but there's just the Enya Silversmith you knew before. She reaches out a hand, and the rain parts like a curtain. You step forward, and you see a moment. One of the buildings on the waterfront has collapsed, shattered inwards. There is a figure hiding inside, scrambled. You look down to the right, you can see there's another figure, the young Enya from before. She's hiding in a corner underneath the rubble, just hands grasped over her mouth, trying not to make a sound. But you can see there's another dwarf girl, old enough to kind of really have, not full grown, but old enough to have her whiskers coming in. Maybe early 20s. You would say, from your knowledge of dwarven ages.
So, like the equivalent of like a young teenager?
Yeah, like 13, 14. To the Enya you're seeing of now would be like 6, 7 in human years.
So young, yeah.
And you see, maybe a bit younger. But you can see that girl, that dwarven girl, she's scrambled back. She's cut, bleeding, and there is a crackling of lightning flashes, and someone you can't quite see. The way that the lighting is, you can't make out their shape exactly, is stepping forward into the ruin. They don't look like a sour game. They're definitely humanoid, though. It's not a chul. And they have something in each hand. You hear the other dwarven girl call out, What's going on? A moment. What always must happen, says another voice. I don't know how this has happened. Please, I haven't got anything. My parents... Your parents are dead. Your whole town... whole town is dead. Why? We had to be sure. Sure of what? Sure we could get what we were after. Please, The figure steps forward, raising the two somethings that they have.
Can I do a dancing light by them if they're in darkness?
You try and do it, and the light moves forwards, but it doesn't. You start to get like a little silhouette. It's like you're having to fight almost. You're fighting memory here to try and get a bit more light, and you kind of have to push to press the light closer. But you start to get a highlight. They're tall. They have long hair tied back in a tight tail. You can see the glint of two spears, tipped, you think, with bone. And the girl says, I haven't done anything. The light comes forwards and you can see the tall, high cheekbones of a male elf with jet black hair, freckled, pale skin, and a shock skin suit. It's not what you've done, girl. It's what you will. And he just juts forwards and pierces her through the chest with both spears, twisting them and watching until the light goes from her eyes. He pulls them out, takes a cloth, cleans both perfunctorily, turns and leaves.
How's Enya doing?
She is in the same position as past her, just knees up in a corner, hands round her mouth.
I'm gonna go and slowly sit next to her, but not right next to her, like a foot away, and just be there and wait until she says or does something.
The wind fades. The storm passes. And she's just sitting in a cold grey morning in the same place.
Would you like to be somewhere else?
I forgot I had a sister.
Right.
How did I forget?
You'd be amazed what you can forget when it's bad enough. How old were you?
I must have been younger than 10. It's all a bit sketchy.
Do you remember her name?
Anya. The clan found me fosters after that.
Makes sense.
I've always been a bit afraid of the sea.
That seems entirely reasonable. I saw a kraken attack once. Always been a bit frightened of lightning since. Wasn't nearly as bad as you had it though.
She swallows. Thank you.
It's alright. I'm here for as long as you need me.
I think maybe I just need to stay here.
Remember for a while.
She puts her head in her hands and just weeps softly.
I offer her a hand on her shoulder if she wants one. You want to be alone?
Thank you.
It's alright. Hey, send if you need someone here again, okay? You know my name.
She nods.
Call me anytime. And look after yourself for a bit after this one. It might be rough while you're remembering everything in lumps.
Hey.
Right, sure you're alright alone?
She nods again, but squeezes your hand.
Right. So, if you need me, send. Otherwise, good luck.
And you?
And just to reassure you, this doesn't go any further.
Thank you.
It's alright. It's yours.
You feel a sense in your from the rainbow spirit, as if a wordless question of time to go.
I kind of inwardly nod. If that makes any sense. Yeah. And then we
stand up,
leave.
step out of the bubble of dream, and just allow this body, whatever this is, to deconstruct back into strands of rainbow.
Oh, okay, do one thing before I leave.
Yeah?
I conjure a dream blue handkerchief and hand it to her.
Thanks.
It's alright.
You step out, deconstruct your form, and head to sleep. The morning comes. Given the intensity of your planned task, the shifts have been arranged between the remaining four members
you're
of your
busy.
travelling party.
Yeah.
So
Just a little busy.
you awaken to... Hey, no rain.
Hey.
To a warm... to what feels like it might become a warm day, but obviously you actually wake up before dawn. So aroused to the dull, like slightly bluish tinting glimmer that comes like an hour or so before dawn.
Steer, I think, wakes up with a bit of a start and like looks a bit frazzled and weird and makes coffee.
You right?
Yeah, it was a lot, if I'm honest.
Alright.
Cracking dream. Bad one.
Ugh.
They're never fun.
I'm not going to tell you everything because it's hers.
No,
but there
you
are
don't
some...
need
Oh
to.
God,
Just-
God, Sarah.
No, absolutely not. It's none of even my business, to be honest. But there is some really pertinent information in there that I think we
Wow.
should probably know that isn't necessarily personal to her.
Alright,
Bugger.
what?
Part of it, I mean, there was a Kraken attack happening, obviously. But part of it also looked like a Reaver killed someone because of what they were going to do in the future. And what was it they said about the town? We have to make sure there's no one? Like, what was it?
We had to make sure we got what we came for.
Oh, we had to make sure we got what we came for.
So they took something.
I don't...
No, they killed someone, I
Yeah.
think. That's why they were killing everyone. Because they didn't know for sure
Directly which
who
one
they
it
were
was.
looking for. Which means they didn't necessarily get them.
I wonder if it was Enya.
I wonder if it's... I'm worried about Enya.
Could be.
I mean, Enya's unscribable right now, so like, good luck to them.
Yeah.
Possibly in one of the safest places she can be, then.
Honestly,
Yeah.
yes. Like, as guards go, that's pretty decent,
Yeah.
really.
But no, this is new and important information.
Have there been Reaver attacks alongside any other Kraken attacks?
Would I, in my
We'll just look at
big
Corzin.
conspiracy wall, have had
Roll
any
a
reason to suspect
history
this?
check, please.
Okay, history. Okay, it's an 11.
Have a D4.
Okay.
Oh, it's a 4.
Okay, 15.
Purely because this is your like subject of intense study. No Reaver ships have ever been sighted during a Kraken attack, to your knowledge. There have been, on 2 occasions that you have read about, there have been occasions where a Reaver ship has raided after a Kraken attack.
I mean, that would be more sort of explicable given their general modus operandi, but even so.
But that... So, you don't know if there being Reavers at that Kraken attack?
Certainly you're not... I mean, would it have been... One moment, I'm just going to roll a check.
If it's
a luck check.
Moonraven, I don't think I've seen any indication that there was, but...
No, not at Monraven, to your knowledge.
Okay, so that means there could have been Reavers at all of them.
Yeah, if that
Because we
wasn't
know
on
there were
record.
Reavers at that one, and you've never heard of that.
But also the thing is, if everyone who saw them they murdered,
Yeah.
it's not hard to be lost.
And
There
we don't
wasn't
know
at
the
Barnacle
reason.
Point, and there wasn't at Kion.
I mean,
We didn't really hang around Kion.
We weren't in
We'd
the
have
whole
seen
of Kion.
the bay, though. If
Yeah,
there was a
but
ship there, we'd have seen it.
If there was a ship at Monraven, someone would have seen it. We don't know they came in a big ship.
They might have sailed up the coast, come overland for a bit.
Or walked under the water. We can do that.
Yeah, it's not hard, is it?
Yep, not hard breathing water.
It's actually really not, though. Like, that's the
yeah, especially because they've
For
basically
us,
got
yeah.
druids.
thing. Like, like, peasy, yeah.
Ah, magic.
Alright, this
So-
can sound... it's going to sound a little bit egotistical then. If they are trying to kill people who have some influence on the future as things stand, then why didn't they go after me?
Do you know they didn't? They killed a lot of halflings.
Ha. Also, I mean, they did kill all of halflings, but also futures change.
Yeah, up to that point, were you likely to become this?
Or were you likely to become a nice thresher?
I suppose.
It could be that they were after someone else, and they fucked up and made you.
Huh.
Yeah, or it could be that they were after you. But,
And then-
because in the future visions you'd look a lot older,
I suppose.
they could have made a
And
mistake.
they got someone a similar age and look. How alike did you and your brother look?
I mean, family resemblance, but he was noticeably younger than me.
Yeah, but again, if somebody's just older in the vision an unspecified amount...
We've just seen a sibling killed and potentially the actual target missed.
He was drowned. They wouldn't have been that,
No,
He
That
was
merciful.
swept away in the water. And then you found him dead.
He sort of takes a deep breath and says, he
Sorry,
didn't have
I-
any other injuries as far
Okay.
as I could find.
Sorry, it's
Good.
that's something that's good.
Not good.
Not good, but yeah. Oh yeah.
Sorry, you
bloody
okay?
hell.
This wasn't elegantly done, was it?
No,
it's alright. It's alright, but I feel like
We're the
that's a
worst.
thing that I have to really hammer home here. If he had died by violence specifically, I'd have known even then.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's something at least.
I mean,
But
I've
it
seen
doesn't-
it. If that helps, I did see what happened. We did swap that time.
yeah.
Did I feel
Look,
myself die as Wendell?
I don't think you. I don't
He
know
got
if you-
swept away.
You got swept away. I think you remember losing consciousness, but it's not. It's not like the times in Vision Echoes where you've been stabbed in the chest and died. Like you weren't conscious to the point of death.
Yeah, swept away in the water and unconscious is what I remember.
Yeah, well, I knew enough even then to know that he died by drowning.
Okay.
Spent long enough trying to revive
But
him.
the point is that it's possible that the attack happened as a way of targeting someone specifically. It's possible that they're all targeting people specifically.
Now that is a disturbing possibility. And I think we got to find out if there is anything more to this theory, because if there is, then we might be able to predict, well, not only where the next one will occur, but who the target is specifically.
Did the Kraken do a self-fulfilling prophecy?
I
Did the
hope so.
Kraken
That's kind of
try
funny.
and target you?
Did it make the
Because-
person who killed it on
But,
like by accident, like in
genuinely.
attempt to prevent you becoming you? It made you.
Well, I've heard of plenty of fables about, a wise old seer tells somebody something is going to happen to them, and then as a result of trying to avoid it happening, they make it happen.
Well, like,
So
the
it's
Kraken
not
can
beyond
definitely see
the
future,
realm's
right?
possibility.
Like, that's...
Yeah.
We know that, don't we?
I mean, if you can
Yeah.
actually see the future, yes, that's obviously got to be a possibility, hasn't it?
It could be.
Yeah. There's no way for us to know, though, is there?
No.
Because it's going after people as kids. We've got no way of predicting.
Also,
who
the
they'll
other
be.
thing, frankly, the other thing that we found out, even if it wasn't the Kraken doing the attack, in terms of like what the Reavers were doing, even if that was a separate thing that they used the Kraken attack as cover for, or if they were in league with the Kraken, I don't know. Part of me feels like they're doing almost what we're doing, but more violent. We're trying to change the future, right?
Yeah.
They're killing people who they see doing stuff in the future.
I'm
It's
not
what we
convinced
could do,
that
but we
our
don't.
goals are the same, but that suggests that maybe they want a different future.
I don't think we're doing it much less violently, I'll be honest.
Yeah, to be fair, I can't.
But we want different outcomes. That is the main thing.
Yeah. Maybe they're in league with the Kraken. Maybe they want the Kraken to live
Oh, they
forever.
definitely are.
They must be, mustn't they? Even the tie to the sea makes sense.
Like, what's Enya working on?
What, that art piece?
Yeah.
No, that's their hobby. What is their job? What was their speciality?
They are an engineer working on artillery pieces.
Well,
Ha!
that sounds like a thing that could kill a Kraken one day.
Does, doesn't it?
Maybe.
Or change the world.
Certainly.
There is as you pause for a moment to reflect, you hear the gentle clunk of coffee being poured, and you look over and you see sat by a coffee pot. There, Viv is pouring a little cup of coffee for both herself and Lady Grace, who just raises it, sips it. Vivienne says, "So this is another of those take this to your grave secrets.
Yeah.
I'll add this to my bill, shall I? As if
Whoops.
I don't pay you enough as it is.
Fucking hope so.
Coffee?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
we don't need to make this morning worse.
I'll have theirs.
I will.
They pour you a double coffee. One for Corzin as well.
We really need to have a chat about this stuff, don't we?
Good Lady Grace. We've not actually explained this to you.
I'm developing the shape of a picture. I'm developing the shape of a story, to be sure.
It's a good one. You
Not
could
like
tell
any
it
I've
over,
heard.
say, 142 episodic things.
All around 4 hours each.
Yeah, top and tail them with songs.
Yeah, and
But at the
bits of,
top, the same song
you know,
every time.
extra- Yeah, you've got to have like a song that you sing at the start of every one, but also, you know, like extra little stories in between, and sometimes some like weird, dirty sounding drowned
Oh,
man
Jeffrey could
doing
have the
strange
whole
poetry
sections to
from the
themselves.
future.
Jeffrey, you can have a bit.
You see Marjorie look directly to camera for a moment. And then
Oh, everyone looks directly to the camera for a moment, and then we carry on as though this didn't happen.
Oh, dear.
you certainly seem to have come across some very interesting information.
You're not scribal, are you?
I'm not. This location is.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not scribal either.
Viv, how much juice do you... That wouldn't be the language of the... Viv, how much do you think... Give me a moment. Gestures to Corzin and Scamp. It's going to take me a minute, but I can make you unscribable for 8 hours.
Oh,
Ooh.
thank you very much.
Takes a moment.
So if someone did try and scry this location, would they just see me and Scamp talking to nobody?
Yep.
Yeah, but I do that a lot anyway.
Well, I suppose anyone who couldn't see spirits, I would look like I'm talking to nobody when I'm talking to the spirits
You
that follow
do?
me.
Well, right
Like
now,
a sad, lonely man. What?
there we go.
Well, they're definitely there.
It would just be Scamp talking
We've
to
just been
themselves.
lying this whole time.
After another minute of casting, Viv kind of nods, pronounces it complete.
Thank you. So, now that Viv spent a spell, should we do
I'm
this?
Going to spend another one. Let me set up the silence ward. It's made of casting. Okay,
Thank
you
you,
have 10
Viv.
minutes.
You're really quite excellent.
I can keep a lot of secrets.
Yeah.
You certainly make enough money to.
Yeah. I just look at the other two and message to the
You're
stones.
you're a literal millionaire. Still.
I message to the stones. Right, we want to tell her, right? We sure?
Yeah.
I think we have to at this point.
Okay. So I take the Eye of the Storm out of the little pouch with the face on it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
It's when someone else touches it,
It's
so
when someone else
sadly
touches
it doesn't.
Oh,
It'd be really good if it did that.
it was so good.
But if Celestia's ever knocked unconscious...
What I should have done is handed it
robbed,
to Lady Grace so it had to.
Yeah.
Ah,
It's like, you just open your jacket, it's like, yeah, it's just in there. If you... Oh, no. Scamp has to spend another 10 gold worth of jewels recasting.
It's the best alarm, incidentally.
yes.
Anyway, you take out the eye.
Yeah, I take out the eye. So, this thing, which you have seen previously, this is called an Eye of the Storm. We think it relates to the Kraken in some way. It allows you to see the future and past, like you're scrying. 3 times a day. With consequences. And side effects.
Pretty messed up ones.
Beyond knowledge of the future.
Yes. Side effects that we have to manage, which thankfully we can now. They're not just uncontrolled.
Which explains why you're not using this constantly.
Yeah. Probably a good thing it's limited. One could really fall down a rabbit hole.
Even 3 times a day.
We don't usually do it 3 times a day. Because, again, aforementioned consequences. Price has to be paid.
How bad are the consequences?
Quite bad.
Complicated.
Yeah, I mean, they vary, but it's always complex. Basically what happens is I swap with a random person from the future or past for 10 minutes.
As I'm sure you can imagine, dependent on who that is, it can be either enlightening, unhelpful,
Or
or
they set our
downright
ship on
terrifying.
fire. Yeah.
I see. Which means it would depend on when it happened. You said this is controllable now.
Yes.
So that means you can control when this swap takes place, or you can stop it
Yes.
take. Right.
Yeah, I have another artifact. I take out the ring, but do not hold it near the eye. If I look through this into this, basically it triggers however many swaps there are to go. I very carefully put the ring back into the pouch.
I see.
Seems to be directly related to whether you've gone to the future or past, numerically. But the long and short of it is we've seen the world end quite a few times. In various ways.
I would be very surprised if what happened back at the Institute had got any more out of hand. That might have been another one.
Yeah, that's why we all panicked a bit before anything had even happened.
I don't need to tell you that what you have there is an artifact as powerful and dangerous as any of the 4 rings of the kings.
What the fuck were the 4 rings of the kings?
There's a legend about 4 rings that were stolen by a group of street ruffians who eventually became...
The Fish Kings.
Yes. Are you familiar?
Yes, it turns out, actually.
Yes. I don't suppose you know of their legendary powers?
No.
One is a ring of true and permanent invisibility. One has the ability to turn one into a shadow and back, slip through the slightest crack, that sort of thing. One...
You're the worst.
One I believe allows you to bend to the will of anyone to be your friend, or for a day, or longer, to simply make them perceive you as being innocent. You're simply, if I remember correctly, it's the hardest one to track for obvious reasons. I believe any lie you tell, no matter how far-fetched, seems to be the truth, and everyone perceives you in the most favourable light they can. And the last one allows one to send limitlessly to anyone in the world.
Wow. Gods, I'd love that one. Oh.
That'd be amazing. Think of all the things you could say to people.
You'd just send bums to every single person.
To everyone I saw.
Before the end of,
And the
before
people
the first day had ended. And then you'd have to think of a word funnier than bums to carry your life.
There isn't one.
Right, well, regardless, that's the sort of thing. Those are the artifacts we talk about, and legendarily they are not sold nor bartered. They have been killed for many times, and it is their secrecy alone that means they are not warred for.
Yep.
I would do a great deal to acquire one if I knew where one even was, and I am by no means the only player of significance on the global stage.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
Does this ring do anything else?
safe.
Have we ever checked? The ring that you look through. Does it do anything else? Should we maybe have looked into that?
You have never identified the ring.
Generally try not to look in it, but if you want to do identifying on it, you're very welcome to.
I feel like maybe we should.
Might be worth it.
Yeah.
But
This seems like an oversight, I'll be honest.
Does a bit, doesn't it?
And not our first. Okay, you carry on.
While you're talking, while the conversation continues, Scamp, you begin the process of tumbling the ring over in your fingers, just like focusing, getting the weird snatches of information from it.
like what we just picked up at the Institute, when something has an obvious use, sometimes you overlook the not obvious ones.
Yeah, it gives you nosebleeds. It's great.
You're so weird. What's wrong with you? Yeah, we've been trying to stop the world ending, and we've changed it once.
More than once.
And God told us,
Probably
well,
innumerable times.
minor god / spirit, whatever you want to call it, told us that the best way to save the world was to kill the Kraken and then destroy all the eyes and then let the world save itself, which I currently like because it means that I don't have to be looking into the future for the rest of my life and living only for that. That's a bit selfish. So...
And from one source with a potentially unreliable motive.
Yep. Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's
definitely
wrong,
unreliable.
but that doesn't mean it's right.
The thing is, you're quite a powerful, trustworthy elf. So you're going to live for a while yet. So we figured you'd maybe be a good person to also tell other than me.
That makes sense. That is...
I'm the longest lived group member, but that's only if I don't, die in next week or whatever.
Well, it's
So
the odds
you're very
I'm
best
good
not
on.
to.
Yeah.
To your grave, Vivian, and beyond it. What? Of course. Not like it's the first.
Any questions?
I am curious to know how... When I said before that I have seen the future, you realise I was speaking in a more metaphorical sense than this.
There was like a half second where I wondered if you might have had another one of these that we didn't know about, but then I realised no, that you were actually speaking metaphorically.
I am a little daunted.
Yep.
I would be.
You're a little daunted.
I would not consider myself an especially ethical person, but I can very quickly see how this could become a slippery slope. Say you find out, you gaze into the future, and you find someone who will in 5 years commit a massacre. Do you go and kill them now?
This is the whole problem, isn't it?
What if they will do it in 50 years and they're a child? What if their grandson, what if they will do it and you can find their grandfather now?
What if you can find them and help them be a different person?
This is why we all need Scamp.
We've had this very dilemma in one way or another. At one point, anyway.
But I think that might be pretty much what the Reavers are doing. Not the finding and make them be a better person. That's not really their style. The murdering.
They're
bit.
manipulating people into and out of events.
You are right to keep this secret.
Oh, we know we are.
Oh yeah, we're doing a great job of that.
We could have done worse.
There are too many people. There are perhaps 5 people I can think of like me in the world, and that is too many for anyone else to know about this.
5 other people other than you, or are you one of the 5?
She thinks a moment. 5 other people. Let us humor the Queen of Orsyria and include her in that number.
Who are the others?
She shakes her head a little bit. Not the time or the place right now. I'm a little...
Tea.
One-
Hot, short, and stout. Sorry.
One day, maybe one day soon, I realize you are trusting me with a lot here, but it's hard to break the habits of a lifetime.
Maybe it's time.
There are some elements of that. If I had to list 5 people of consequence, well, my current list would stand at myself, Golden Kratz and Guildenstern.
Well, they are a problem. I forget what their precise name they like to go by is, but the Fisher King with the Ring of Voices.
Makes sense.
Queen Beatrix of Ossyria, although I am including her Privy Council in this. Usually monarchs are figureheads, but she's proved surprisingly alive. There's a broker in Seoul. I only know of them by reputation.
Oh, yeah.
But someone who deals heavily in favours.
Scrimshaw.
Yeah, just a bit.
Come on, it's definitely Scrimshaw.
Yeah, and she definitely knows about this.
Yeah.
Have you ever actually met any of these people?
We are like players on the opposite side of a game board.
Who's the last one? Did 5 more other than you?
There is a spider
Oh.
at the heart of a web in Haldanos, pulling at things. She sits in the city of Hongguao and controls and pulls fleets into her net. We've never met. I only know by reputation.
I don't suppose you know, like, is this a drow? Oh, you said spider. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I also want to jump to conclusions because
She
it's a
might
drow.
be. Again, I've not met. And
Could be the Drow Empress.
No, it's your mum, isn't it? We don't know what your mum's doing, and she's definitely evil and clever.
Hongguao, though.
Where's your mum?
she ever
Do you
been
know
to?
she's not? Do you know she's not there?
No, but like, how long would it take to get to Hongguao?
a few months by ship. Hongguao is like. Hongguao is not necessarily like close on the close end of Haldanos necessarily. Like it's probably a couple of months by ship if you wanted to get there.
Where was she when I last like got wind of her? Like,
Honestly, you lost track of your mother over a year ago when you left home.
it could be her then.
You have.
It's totally your mum. It's totally your
You
mum.
have no
It might
idea
not
where
be,
she
but it
is.
just.
Celestia
I'm so
kind
much
of
more
does-
scared of your mum than I am the Empress.
Oh, me too. Celestia kind of like does some maths for a moment, and her eyes just widen. Shut up.
I'm just saying it really could be. Let's not rule it out.
Oh, no, you're right. You're
Empress
absolutely right.
Ariadne is insular. It's one of her weaknesses. She is all powerful within the reaches of her own realm, but no longer extends beyond it.
Makes
Meanwhile-
sense with our meta.
Meanwhile, your mum is
Everywhere.
yeah.
I suppose you've ever met Ivara Rothenal, have you? Forget that name, by the way. If you would.
She nods.
You're giving me a look. What's the look? What are you thinking?
It's very hard for me to forget information, but I can keep secrets.
That'll do.
I sense that, well, I suspect a piece of wood could sense this, but you and she are not ones to see eye to eye, then.
It's one way of putting
What
it.
on earth gave you that idea, Lady Grace?
When the opportunity presents, I have questions for you about the Ebon Guard and such.
I have a lot of answers. So you've not met her? You haven't said no yet. I'm curious. And yeah, I am going to remind you that I've just told you something really fucking big, so it's not a difficult question.
She looks to Viv. Go on, say it. You're getting old. She rubs the bridge of her nose. Well, I suppose as trades of information go.
Doesn't even have to be a trade. We could just talk.
Yes, a long time ago, I met a young and, in her own way, brilliant, if very different, young drow woman. And I was very shocked to almost see her again when I was riding through my carriage. And I had to know. It's been over 200 years since I met Naivara Rothenal.
What do you mean you had to know? What is that? What happened?
Who you were. What sort of person you had become. I keep abreast of news. The sudden disappearance of a member of the Rothenal household.
Didn't hush it up as well as she thought she did then.
She kept it well. I'm good learning things. And I know her. It's how she would act.
You know how well, then.
Viv? Yes? Step outside the bubble.
Oh.
Oh, shit.
Not one of the take to the grave ones. All right. She stands up, steps away. You see Lady Grace look for a moment towards Corzin Scamp. Rotate her jaw a little bit and continue. Where should I begin? I would have preferred to have this talk somewhere a little more comfortable than the road, but I suppose the beginning will do.
Please.
I understand it's a good place to start.
Sorry, I just... when you read, you begin with ABC. I so wanted to, and it was such a serious An alternate scene where Lady Grace responds, when you sing, you begin with We're all on the loopy juice today. We keep all saying really weird things at serious moments.
We've missed each other.
We have.
Yes, we have.
We've not recorded in a couple of weeks, stowaways, and we're really weird with it. Just bear with us.
I mean, we've still been hanging out, but...
We have been hanging out, but we've not done this in a while.
And certainly not this. Okay. Continuing on with this then. I was a very bored and wasted young woman. I grew up in wealth and comfort and pointlessness. Indeed, amongst the very ilk of the Leodon banking dynasties and their like. And I wanted more. So I did the grand tour in my time.
As you do.
Went to see the world. And when you're from the surface and you're rich and an elf, you go downstairs as well. And you see what it's like on the other side of the surface. And there I met a brilliant and passionate young woman whose flower was as crushed by the society she found herself in as I was in mine. A very different, in her own way, woman to the woman of today. But that came later. I found a like spirit in her. A companion. Not, I hasten to add, in that manner. That has never appealed to me.
Oh, I was getting worried, I'll be honest, because that's a whole twist I didn't want to think about.
Yeah, there was a second where I really thought you had an affair with my mum. It's just very strange.
Think instead of a passionate sort of respect. An admiration that...
A friendship.
I ask you to imagine what you have had previously with your close companion, but without the physical elements of the romance. That's, I understand, happens to a lot of people, not to me.
That's fair enough.
We travelled together. I convinced her to start her own grand tour as I returned to the surface. And we found friends and truth. We saw the great lie that is nobility.
Right, that's where she got it from then. Okay.
We saw everything I told you I saw of the future, but not as clearly. And we sought to fight it. Brashly. Fiercely. Passionately. A pair of young women with swords and wits. Trying to save the world, one foe slain at a time.
Right.
And then we were betrayed. I lost track of her. I tracked down the group of companions to find their bodies outside the great forest of Meadmere.
Hmm.
And then I found her.
How long later?
Not much longer. But we were invited to be the guests of those who dwell within the
Rhiannon's
Wood Elves.
Grove. Yeah?
You've been.
Hmm.
We spent 7 years there.
You were there.
I lived there. I trained there.
You trained with her and the Wood Elves.
I am a very capable swordswoman.
Then you don't need to ask me about the Urban Guard.
I only have one question. What is the attrition rate?
We will talk about the Urban Guard when we are done with this. When were you going to tell me? I don't want a cryptic answer. I want to know what your plan was. I haven't just told you about the future. We had a conversation the other day. I opened up. I thought you did too. And you were friends with her this whole time. When was that going to come out? When were you going to explain? Are you still friends with her? Am I looking at her right now? Is she going to know all of this?
I haven't made her aware that you're here.
But you talk to her? You still talk to her?
We made a plan.
What plan? Start talking.
When we left, when we returned to the world, we realized that we couldn't solve our problems at the end of a sword. Not just the two of us. So we went different ways. We sought to gather enough resources around us to be able to effect the changes that were needed. To play a long game, as it were.
What changes did you think were needed?
Everything I have said to you. We needed there to be a place that could be free of the ideals of aristocracy. We needed a place where things were not built on the ideals of one people treading on the neck of another.
Dunno, she's always liked neck treading. Did you split off from each other at some point? Was there a change in ideology, or do you think you're still on the same side? What is this?
We have drifted apart. I recently have begun to reconsider. I always believed this was the only way.
What was the only way? Make sense.
The way I operate. Secrets. Moving indirectly. Moving people, money, paying for ideas. Funding. We had different roles at the start. She would handle the more underhanded side of things. I would be the overt side.
But you were working towards the same goal?
We've always been working towards that goal.
Is she now? The fuck is she working towards now?
As far as I know, unless she has diverged, we promised this was the goal.
What the fuck is she doing?
If I am to be clear about about one of the distinctions between us, if I knew that next week someone was going to butcher a family, I would kill them before they did it. She would kill their grandfather. I had not believed or seen a way that did not involve that.
Do you still talk to her? Are you friends?
We have remained allies. She changed on returning home.
In what way?
I put up with the teachings of Rhiannon's Groves. I don't think she believed them all, but I think she did believe the idea. There's one teaching that she kept close to heart. If the end is survival or annihilation, any means is justified.
Ugh.
Right. I have another question, Lady Grace.
Yes.
What the fuck was the other night? I talked to you about pain she caused, and you related, and you listened, and you agreed with me, and you cried, and
I saw. I saw. I regretted.
regretted what exactly? Make it make sense.
I regretted a lot of things. I regretted this life. I regretted not. I regretted staying away. I regret my part in someone else living through that.
You should. One other question. She was a fucking monster. She is a monster, so what the fuck are you? You're just a monster with a kind of face? Were you softening me up so you could tell her what I was thinking and what I was doing? Do you report to her?
I don't report to her. It's not...
How am I supposed to believe you?
Corzin gives a meaningful look with regards to things he can do.
She looks to the ground for a moment. She's just like...
I mean, truth spell wouldn't go amiss, honestly, Corzin, but...
She's got a... You can see her fingers are shuddering a little.
I really genuinely trusted you there. Like, I wanted this. I wanted to be your friend. I wanted a good relationship with an elf who was my mum's age. There were a lot of points along the time that we've been talking to each other, and I've been telling you things where you could have mentioned this.
And there... She swallows dryly. And I could have kept it from you now. And that would have been the smart thing to
Oh,
do.
there she is. You've caused me pain. Oh, well, I could have caused you more.
No. No, no, no.
What, then?
I am trying to be I'm trying to be honest. I'm trying to be honest now. Because I don't want to be her. And I wish that I look at you and I wish I could be the person you wanted there to be. Because I've kept things from you because I keep things from everyone. But everything I said, everything I felt, everything I said about how I felt is real.
Might need a truth spell.
She looks to Corzin.
Corzin will cast Discern of Truth.
She doesn't resist it.
If you've got anything on you that makes it not work, now is the fucking time to take it off.
She reaches to her neck. See, there's a necklace there. It's going to make... Yeah, this will actually momentarily make her... says, I'm momentarily going to become scryable.
No, you won't. Viv did non-detection on you.
Viv does non-detection on herself. She takes off the necklace.
Well, I guess you'll have to take the risk then.
Everything I said to you about growing up, about my life, about my regrets is true. I have been and done terrible things in my life because I believed it was the only way to get the right thing done. But I don't want to be someone that someone like you looks at like you're looking at me now.
Right.
I am saying this and the things I have said, which are also true, and being open because I would like to change that. I am trying to be I am trying to find a way to be someone you can trust and for you to know everything. because you need to know everything.
I do.
This part I need to say with the necklace on, so I cannot be scribed. But I swear that the next parts of this are true.
Okay.
She puts the necklace back on. I am Golden Kratz and Guildenstern.
Fucking what? What?
Those two, we found two dwarves. The
It
ones
was
who
such a
sit there
problem.
now
It was such a problem. Are you
actors.
Celestia's real mum too? Are you also the Queen of Assyria?
No.
Are you also Scrimshaw?
Are you even yourself? Like, I mean, are you under like a face shifter or something? Like, I just...
I am myself. But
Fucking shit.
I set up that.
We robbed you.
We did rob you that time.
I
We
am,
robbed your bank and we shapeshifted to be you, but also not you.
I am aware of that, yes. That was an interesting message to receive.
So who are those two dwarves then?
Yeah, who the fuck
Actors.
are they?
Actors.
What? You hired some actors. You
Why
permanently
not?
hired some fucking actor dwarves.
There were originally two dwarves, but they tried to kill me. So they were killed by my bodyguards. They tried to kill me and take the company for themselves. This was about 150 years ago. The current two are, I believe their actual names are Olon Cutter and Ernie Spearbreaker.
Good
Those
names.
are ridiculous names. Early Spearbreaker. Is that a stage name? That's absurd. What the fuck, Lady Grace?
I mean, it sort of makes sense. This spider you talked about, that's Celestia's mum, right?
No.
Or is there another there's another person you didn't even
No,
put her you didn't put her mum on the list of people? That's worrying.
I was... Navara Rothnall and I are functionally together, have been in the past one player, but I suppose if she's going her own way, maybe it's another one.
Are you functionally one player now? Necklace off, please.
I don't know.
You don't know.
How do you not know?
We have been speaking less and less for years. We talk mostly by leaving one another messages through the bank.
Huh.
So she could be up to anything and you wouldn't necessarily know.
She has been doing a lot of what I've asked for. She ensured that members of the Ebon Guard would be available in Seoul to help with the revolution. She
I
helped.
mean to help with the revolution. The Avangard didn't help with the revolution, did they?
No, they're on the other side.
They haven't even arrived yet, have they?
Yeah, they were on the other side, yeah.
So I suppose they were helping in that sense.
Were you on the other side of the revolution? The fuck is your goal?
Well, we were supporting the goal was to have them in place in order to keep an eye on things and then bring in a larger amount. Our original intent was more or less what came out, putting the academic faction in control. We don't control Mistson.
No one controls Mistson.
He was a surprise. We didn't control Jacqueline either. She was a surprise.
No, that was Scrimshaw controlled Jacqueline.
Ah, that one. Right.
What was your goal here?
My goal here...
When you came out to your institute...
I wanted to find
us.
out what was going wrong. They were supposed to have sent us those arms, and I was extremely angry to find out that the administrator I'd put in control was keeping secrets from me.
Well, I guess that means Eurist gets to keep the job then. Not going to worry
Eurist
about
gets to keep the job.
I was going to have a little interview with 2 actors.
I think
Even
I'm
more.
a bit hysterical at the moment, you know?
I feel like I'm going insane.
I'm long gone.
Why come with us? Why not just go over? It's your institute. Why not just take Viv? Why did you take us?
I wanted to see you in action, and not simply as a case of assessing your abilities. I wanted to know you.
How many
Us
people know
or-
your true identity?
You sound so much like an absent, divorced parent. It's really weird.
Like, when you say, I wanted to know you, do you mean us, or do you mean me, or do you mean Naivara's kid?
When I
Like, what
when
does
I
that
came
mean?
across you, the 3 of you, in my carriage, I saw Naivara's child, and I wanted to know her.
Well, you will have known immediately, because I fucking look like her, don't I?
But when
I would be
came
amazed
back,
if you have the same hair, though, I'll be honest.
I don't look like her anymore, but at that point we did. Well, I mean, still got a fucking jawline, haven't I?
when I saw you again, when I came out with you and made the trip on the barge, I wanted to know. She points to you, Celestia. You. And then I wanted to know. She gestures to the 3 of you. You.
Okay. Right.
What you said stuck with me.
Which bit? I've said a lot of things to you.
About trying kindness. I wanted to see it. I've never, not never, but I have often had cause even to see kindness from the viewpoint of cost and gain.
Very Rothnal of you.
Sounds like a bank.
Does.
It does, come to think of it.
I perhaps selfishly wanted to see that I was wrong.
Wrong about what exactly? Kindness?
Yes,
You wanted to be wrong?
I've wanted to be wrong for a long time. I
Well,
just
congratulations.
didn't think I was.
Congratulations, Lady Grace, you're wrong. Hope it feels good.
It feels absolutely awful.
Well, that sounds like a good start to doing better.
How the hell am I supposed to trust you now? How am
am I supposed to spend time with you? Like, we've just trusted you with this very big thing that we thought maybe you could help with.
I have every reason to continue to help you with that.
You gonna tell her?
I have even more reason not to tell Naivara.
Because she'd kill a lot of people's grandparents.
She would. We used to drop her a little hello note now and then at the bank, I suppose.
But it is important for me to know. What is the attrition rate?
Why do you want to know? Why exactly?
Yeah, what's so important about that?
It was 1 in 20 in Rhiannon's Grove.
Mm-hmm.
I need to know how far she's gone.
I suppose that's a good reason. Out of character for a brief moment. What is the attrition
1
rate?
in 6.
Well, the answer is quite far. 1 in 6.
You see a little something go out of her.
Good people. Good people who wanted to live. Who had plans. Stupid as death.
That's got to be a sizable chunk of the drow population total then.
She kind of puts her head in her hands for a moment. This is not what... This is not the future I wanted.
Good.
It certainly seems to be the future she wanted.
How did they do
Think
it in
about that.
Rhiannon's Grove? The attrition rate, how did it happen? Curious of the difference.
Accident, largely being pushed too far. Sometimes people would... elves would drop from exhaustion during the harshest periods, the starvation testing.
Yeah, that bit was nasty. You never got each other killed, though? There weren't tricks?
There were some tricks, so there was testing of loyalty and ideology that would be punished. Rarely there might be a death.
Wow. Oh, she went really far, then. Okay. I've never actually talked about this, but if you want to know how far she went, here it is. I had a friend. Really good friend, actually. She was great. She was called Mealy. She was adorable. Obsessed with bats. Wanted to have a bat farm, actually. Really sweet. She kept me sane. And, you two don't know this. I tend to Scamp and Corzin. In the third year of the Avant-Garde, they do this thing where they starve you out for a bit.
You see Lady Grace just nods quietly.
See how you deal with it. Feed you bullshit stories about
low rations or whatever. But the thing is, it sounds like my dear old fucking mother took it a little bit further. Because there were rumours about rations being stolen. And punishment a lot of the time was execution. And there were these rumours gradually sort of fed around that it was me, that I was stealing all the food, and everyone thought it was me. And I didn't know if she'd actually execute me in front of everyone, but I didn't put it past her, so I really tried to find who it actually was, and I had a look through everyone's stuff when they were all out one day. I snuck back, and it was her. It was Merely. And I was so scared. I thought I was gonna die, and I felt so betrayed, and I was so indoctrinated, and I thought it was the right thing to do. I reported her. And then I didn't have a friend anymore, and she was gone. In front of everyone, it was really bad. And years later, nearly 10 years later, idly at the dinner table, she told me it had been a trick, and it was to see what I would do, and if I was loyal. So yeah, I think she went pretty far.
You see, Lady Grace just has her hands over her mouth.
Did they do that in the woods? Or was that her?
She shakes her head a little.
It was that kind of shit all the time. We got each other killed. So now you know. Why the fact that you still talk to her and you're still friends makes me feel like a fucking idiot for trusting you as much as I have. A lot of people dead at her hand. Good people. And mine, it was my fault, but it was her. It was all her. Didn't make friends with anyone for a long time after that, because I was worried what she'd do.
Lady Grace is actually speechless. Probably for the first time you've really seen her unable to say anything. And she just looks horrified.
Suffice to say, that's not a woman we want in charge of anything.
It wasn't your fault. And I'm sorry. And I should have known.
Sounds like you should have done.
Yeah.
If you knew her half as well as you claim to have done.
And if you have half as many eyes in as many places as you say you do, then you should have been aware.
Yeah, you've been helping her a lot. There's kind of a responsibility to know what she's doing.
Yeah, I hope you're ashamed.
I trust.
I know I am.
You trusted her to what exactly?
I thought she was... I wanted her to still be the woman she was when we met.
You were in love, weren't you?
She nods a little.
Sometimes...
Not in a physical sense, but that doesn't matter. That's not what it is. Corzin, what were you going to say?
I was going to say that sometimes our hearts are so hungry for love we swallow other people's lies.
Lady Grace is the most discomposed you've seen her. There's like red rims around her eyes. Hair's a little out of place, which is unusual.
Like her heart's broken.
It also hurts when a player is outplayed.
Love really is blind, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose it is.
Sometimes it's also death.
And she's... I suppose it doesn't matter whether the woman I loved is gone or not. I've just not looked at what she's done in between.
Did she love you?
I think I wanted so hard to believe.
Did she ever do anything for you that deliberately inconvenienced her for no other reason than it would have made you happy?
Once upon a time. Yes.
What was it?
She came to the surface with me.
You think she wouldn't have gone?
She was so bound by duty in those days. She hated it, but I wanted her to see the world with me.
What you're saying is that my mother escaped to the surface with a blonde high elf.
Oh no. Oh no. These friends you went travelling with, were any of them halflings? Or...
I said yes, yes earlier, Ebola.
Oh yeah, what about, was there a pink child?
Was there a pink child?
There was when we were in Meadmere, we met some tieflings.
Did any travel with you for any time?
Yes, for a little bit, but we had a number of companions.
Well, sometimes they say history repeats itself, but even if that isn't true, sometimes it rhymes.
I am not my mother in this or any scenario.
Now I'm your mother. You're Corzin. Wait, no.
That's what it is. Yeah.
No,
Nailed it.
bad idea.
Despite herself, you just see the little bit of flicker of a smile.
But if you really ask yourself, do you really think that she loved you? Because I never saw a woman who was capable of love.
She was always quiet in her love. And it was always
Sharp-edged.
shaped by how she was taught to love. With, yes, sharp edges.
So you're going to take the blame off her?
No. No. We all bear responsibility for our choices. You're proof of that. Because you're not her.
Right. The hell do we do now?
Breakfast?
What was that?
Breakfast. That's what we do now. I'm not sure what else we do, but breakfast definitely.
Seems like a sensible idea to me. Right. Where's the frying pan?
Scamp,
Yeah.
could you do me a favour and just drink 3 bowls of chocolate soon? It's really fancy nicking that bowl right about now.
Yes. Let's do that. Jeffrey,
I'll help you with that.
what do you fancy for breakfast? Okay, we'll make a bowl of that. I'll make 3 bowls of whatever Jeffrey just asked for.
It's like a honey banana sludge.
Oh, God.
Perfect.
We have to get back to Newmark, and we're travelling together, and I don't know how to be around you. We'll make it work, because I think we have to. But fuck me. Just, are you done with her? Are you done now?
I think I am. Which is going to be very, very difficult once all those Ebon Guard arrive.
I don't
Where-
suppose
what-
by any chance you have any idea where and when?
Yeah, where are the avant-garde arriving to?
They are going to once they do arrive, head to the Cotton States to support the rising revolution there.
This doesn't make any sense. What does she want?
I believed she wanted the same as me.
Well,
To create a place free from the old world and to bring her people, bring the Drow there. That was the point of it. The point was to get Drow out of the Underdark.
look, we don't have all the answers here, but every single thing we have seen thus far suggests that whatever she is doing with the Ebon Guard is to ensure her place in the future of not only the surface but the Underdark. Hers specifically.
Also, these Ebon Guard that are turning up, did they bring Quilena? Is that who Quilena's with?
That would make
makes
sense.
Presumably.
Because that's
That
a
adds
whole
up.
other problem.
dad is. Do you have any idea where she is? Not Quilena, my mother.
She's hard to track for the same reason I am. She has a...
Does she have one of those? And I point to this necklace.
She nods. We had the resources of the greatest bank in the world at our disposal.
The two of you.
Do you know about Quilena, by the way?
Sorry, say that again?
Do you know about Quilena and what a disaster she is?
I recall her... I recall Naivara mentioning her disappointment of a youngest child.
Well, that's one way of putting it, I suppose.
What did she say about me? What were you expecting?
I wasn't sure what to expect. She talked about the three of you rarely. We were very... She became very businesslike, especially after her marriage. I was aware that you were... I was aware of very little, in truth. That you were not good with a sword, particularly.
No, I was never that good, to be honest. I was alright after 7 years training, but, you know, never kept it up.
I didn't know what to expect. But it wasn't this.
What did she spin you with when she got married? How did she keep you on board?
She told me she fell in love. And I believed that her heart was big enough for two.
My God,
Did she
you
do
were in
anything to
love.
demonstrate that?
There is much about the folly of my actions that I will defend or will acknowledge. But if you think you can have a clear understanding of the precise choices of the follies of the heart, then perhaps you should write a songbook about it, or a great book for the ages. Because as I am learning today, it's very hard to notice where your blind spots are.
I mean,
True
yeah,
enough.
fuck me, you really were in love because, don't get me wrong, a lot of people have room in their hearts for two people. That's pretty normal, but I can't imagine her even loving one.
I simply believe that Peleus was able to provide that which I could not.
This is so weird. How's that breakfast coming along?
Sausages?
Jeffrey's eaten most of it. Every time we look away or get serious, he puts another bit in his mouth. It's getting worrying. I don't know where it's going.
Camera.
No, these are for Celestia. No, Jeffrey, down.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think I could eat a single thing. I just really needed to say something to break the tension because it was awful, and I just.
Look, here's a fork, here's a sausage. No
Yeah, I
pressure,
didn't
it's just
think
there.
I could hate your
She's
mum
just like
more.
holding a fork with a sausage on in this really serious moment. She's not eating it, she's just holding it.
Yeah, no. And Corzin is well aware she's probably not going to, but is, like, giving her the option.
You just added, like, the best prop to this serious moment, though, because now I just have this fork with a sausage on. It's amazing.
We're all just
You're
holding
welcome.
sausages on forks.
It's interesting to mention there's also a cheerfully oblivious Vivienne standing outside
With a
this
cup of
bubble
coffee.
with a cup of coffee, just like
Having a nice day.
just watching the sun, like the coming dawn.
At some point, she will come back in to find us all looking very serious, holding sausages on sticks.
Yes.
Jeffrey shoving food into his face in a corner.
I mean, up to you whether you offer Lady Grace a sausage or not.
I mean, does she deserve a sausage? That's
No,
the real
no.
question.
I'm gonna offer her one because I want to see it.
I do want her to be holding a
She
sausage
does
in
actually
this moment.
take the offered sausage and also just sits with it.
Yeah.
Suddenly this is a little bit funny, isn't it?
It is,
It's-
isn't it?
It is incredibly funny.
I feel sick.
Everything's so weird.
To answer your question
Which one?
of what we do,
Right.
I'm sorry,
Still holding the
just
sausage.
holding the sausage, and it's all I can think about. But please continue. It's actually really serious.
to a degree that that is very much in your court. That is very much a ball in your court as to how much you will choose to continue to associate with me. I, however, am still committed to this revolution,
Okay.
despite the revelations of the last few days. I still believe in the ideals I profess.
Then you are going to butt heads with her at some point. Mark my words.
Yes. I've never had to plan for that.
Start now.
Yep.
Most of my influence here is within this belt of cities and states, the immigrant cities, if you call them, as they're called. The cotton states are where I believe she has the most pull. Neither of us are as strong within the faithful. If there is war between us, it may well fall down among those lines, and it may well split the union I would hope to forge.
Right. Well. In the near future, there are two things I think I need from you. One is time. I don't know how much. You're just gonna have to be patient. The other is a promise
She waits.
that you're done with her. And I mean done.
Is
You
that
won't
Chris
tell
Phillips?
her anything that has been said here, that you won't talk to her about me, that your association is over.
To her discredit, Lady Grace takes a long pause before she takes off the amulet and says, "I promise," nods, and then puts it back on.
It's a start.
resources just got halved.
Find better ones.
Yes. Some things are worth losing half your resources for.
Well, now you really do make it sound like a divorce.
It is by the sounds of things.
Not my intention, but if the boot fits.
So, was she Goldenkratz or Guildenstern?
Oh, we just changed who was who. Didn't matter. I suppose since I ran most of the finances, I was both.
How did you do it?
Through a mixture of overhand and underhanded methods. I used legal tactics and money to pressure various small banks into coming under the auspices of G&G. She used covert methods. And together we forged the bank.
Yes, and it is the bank now, which is troubling.
Honestly, the thought of my mother at the helm of that is legitimately horrifying.
And not that surprising.
No.
That makes
to make a play
what
for
is that?
control.
Yeah. How long do you think you got before she works out that you're not on side anymore?
Depending on how careful I am, if I'm cutting off all contact, no more than a couple of weeks. If I continue to play nice, a couple of months.
Right.
I would notice, so she will.
Which of those options do you think makes more sense?
I've just given my word. We have 2 weeks.
I like that one better.
Alright, well, we better move fast then.
Yeah.
Please eat that fucking sausage, you look ridiculous.
She takes a bite of it.
I can't take you seriously. Just don't.
Also, Jeffrey's been eyeing it up. If you don't eat it soon, he'll have it.
Jeffrey, have this one. I'm not going to eat it.
Jeffrey! Table manners!
Where are you putting that? There's just too much food for a monkey. I mean...
Did you cast the
Never
bag
mind.
spell on Jeffrey, Scamp? Be honest.
I don't know that I would know if I had.
Is he gonna pop
Sometimes
in
I do
8
things
hours
by
and
accident.
just loads of stuff's gonna come out. I just.
Oh dear.
Oh God! You know about
That is
that.
an awful
You know so
image.
much stuff. Ooh. You know a lot. And you're Goldenkratz and Guildenstern. I don't suppose you fancy helping kill the Kraken if I can ever manage to trust you again. Big if.
I genuinely can't see beyond the fact that it is seemingly impossible. I can't think of a reason not to.
We're going to try with or without your help, but the future that you claim that you want to create may well hinge on it.
Kraken don't want that future, so...
You'll have what help I can gather, but once the war starts between myself and Naivara, both of us are going to find our fortunes difficult to access.
Then
there's
perhaps
also the whole mess with the whole Empress trying to kill her as well.
Yeah.
That's an issue.
Yeah, I did do that. Did you hear about that?
I did, yes.
It was an interesting meeting.
I understand she is a personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
If Nivara were unseated down below, what would be her recourse then? I take it that's not where most of her wealth is stored.
Well, most of her wealth, as with most of mine,
In the bank.
is the
in
bank.
G&G.
We both have resources we can draw on separately, but with the pair of us no longer acting together, we'll both have a fraction of what we once did. I will still have the direct revenue from the factories and the newspapers I control, and the influence therein. She will still have the direct influence of the Ebon Guard. I'm going to have more money, she's going to have more force. I'm closer, which means I probably, with Eurist in place, at least, I should more reliably have control over the Institute. So she won't be able to directly play with that.
You got a couple of weeks head start as well.
Yeah. Can you get
Although,
money out of the bank with
frankly,
a start?
She's probably already working against you in case this happens, so...
Oh yeah, she'll have stuff in place. Even if you didn't.
I had a handful of things in place in case the bank collapsed, so I'm taking that into account. Well, I'll see what a couple of weeks head start can do.
Oh, collapsing the bank is going to do very interesting things, isn't it?
We don't want... When I say we, I mean the world does not want the bank to collapse suddenly.
That would be bad.
That'd be so bad.
Chaos.
How do we not do that then?
Well, neither party wants that.
No, what is going to
Collapsing the bank would be
ensue-
Krilena's move. Your mum's smarter than that.
What is going to ensue is a very complex and involved battle through a series of legal agents to try and essentially split sections of it more under our direct control.
Let's not be involved in that.
I
Sounds
Sounds-
terrible.
Awful.
don't think that is a problem that suits your skill set.
No, not unless you want someone set on fire. Or negotiated with. We're pretty good at that. That should not have been my second thought. Fire should not be my first. I'm worried about that.
Oh dear. Let's keep an eye on that, shall we?
Yeah.
And you're not worried about the fact that you can break the laws of physics and magic as we know them.
Oh no, that's perfect. That's always normal.
Well, that's the thing about laws like that. They're only laws until someone comes up with a better explanation for how things work.
Yeah.
What you're saying is rules are made to be broken.
I suppose, but more like,
I'm going to tell your son you said that. Good luck
I am
ever getting
too.
him to do anything you say ever again.
I think that there's a yawning gulf between, laws of physics and laws of, morality and being a good person.
And bedtime.
You feel like you have like two lives.
So many. Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
this-
I thought that was just being a parent.
But like, there's this whole high-powered, terrifying bullshit that we're talking about right now, where we see the future and, the stuff with the revolution and Scamp breaking the laws of physics, and then there's like your kid who's adorable and
Puppet shows.
puppet shows and making cat hair cakes, and the fact that We've got a date at some point. Do you ever just feel like you're two people?
I know what you mean, but I think in some ways, one doesn't preclude the other, and one can't preclude the other.
It does feel weird, though. I get it.
Feels really weird. Like sometimes we'll be making cake, and I'll just have like an out-of-body experience.
Like if
We're
we were
also
just
trying to
this,
stop the end of the world.
Like the
if
other
we were-
day, we did a big old battle, nearly died a dozen or so times, killed a huge number of people, also saved a surprising number of people. Then we had a short nap, and then we went out hat shopping. How are those the same people in the same day?
Yeah.
I suppose we all deal with it differently, don't we? But that's sort of what I was saying. Is like, those were the same people, but you can't have, the one of those things without the other things. Otherwise, neither is a whole person.
You look over and you see Lady Grace has just sunk, like, elbows onto, like, sitting with her legs crossed. She's just sat elbows onto her knees and is just crying.
It was a good hat.
I'm sure. Well,
I
saw it.
I hand her Leah's handkerchief.
Oh, ow,
Powerful move.
ow, ow.
She takes that, wipes her eyes, looks at it.
Take care of it. I want it back when you're done. It's from the person I escaped with, actually.
Takes a moment, dabs her eyes, folds it, hands it back.
Thanks. You see, that's what it is. Fucking furious with you. But, still gonna give you a handkerchief if you're crying. That's what these two taught me. That's how you do better than her.
She nods. Thank you for the sausage. She hands the fork back to Scamp.
You're welcome.
You need people who can teach you to be better. You can't do it on your own. I definitely couldn't.
Have you considered getting a pet? It does help.
Are you saying you learn anything morally from Jeffrey? Because my eyebrows are practically inside my bandana right now, and I just
You look over and there's like Marjorie is just flopping around. Jeffrey is still scraping out the last bits of like a mixture of sausage grease and banana juice.
Oh god.
And like Stormy is just quiet. Stormy's just pissing into a bush.
You get over here when you're done peeing. I need a hug.
Yeah.
Thank you.
She pads over and just flollops into your lap.
I'll stroke the cat.
Never had a pet.
Okay, do you good?
Maybe I can get one of those dogs. The ones with the faces all staved in.
You want a pug?
That's it, yes.
You'd be fucking ridiculous with a pug.
You should get a pug immediately.
Get a pug. It'll be hilarious.
Being responsible for another tiny life, though, it actually does teach you a lot.
Yeah. Also, I mean, you'd rid yourself of a problem because my mother would never be seen with you again if you had a pug. So,
Problem solved.
Yeah, you make your life easier in a lot of ways, darling.
Well, speaking of dogs, I might have Viv prepare a horse and we might ride a little bit ahead.
Okay.
Give you some space. If you wish to speak again,
Mm-hmm.
if you need to communicate on matters relating to the revolution, the Bell founders can reach me if you don't want to speak. They are, by and large, not nefarious individuals. They are patriots, believers. Jacob's sort of an underhanded bastard, but that's why I keep him around. But if you should want to talk, my door will be open. Ask around for whichever manor I have nearest, or just send.
I assume there'll be a redirect in place if we can't get you directly.
She nods.
Okay. I don't know.
She nods again. If you ever find you can, I would like to, but that is yours.
Okay.
She stands.
Do you have someone who can look after you?
She glances back at Viv.
Are you friends, though?
Yes.
Good. Tell her you're hurting.
She nods.
Accept help.
Thank you. Your secrets are safe with me regardless.
Okay. Good.
She steps out. Taps Viv on the shoulder. Viv like looks back. You just you see Viv like ask something. Pop her head into the silence bubble. Okay, we all good in here?
Banging, Viv. Do you want a
Think so.
sausage?
Oh, fantastic! Yes, if I can have thank you.
There you go.
Oh shit!
What?
Rough talk, huh?
Yeah.
Complicated.
Cool. Do you want I should leave the silence up a little bit longer?
Yep.
Okay.
Probably
Thank
sensible.
you. Thanks. You've been great.
Passes the fork back. Takes the cup of coffee and leaves.
That was a fuck of a lot.
Yeah. I don't really know what to do now.
Stormy just sort of purrs in your lap.
You stroke the cat.
Well, that sounds like the best option.
Do you need space, or do you need people around you who you can trust?
I don't really want to be on my own.
No.
Well, I'm not going anywhere. At least
Worried
not
on.
yet.
It's
And do something stupid, and right now I'm managing to just stroke the cat, which is sort of a miracle.
stroke the cat.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. Ugh.
Ooh.
Isn't it rubbish when it turns out that what you thought was a grown-up is just as dumb and, like, stupid as the rest of us?
Dumber. Actually dumber.
I had longer to practice being silly.
Actually worse in love than I am.
You know, I never...
I didn't think that was possible.
Me neither, to be honest.
I never disbelieved him, but I never understood until today exactly what Norrit meant when he said there was no fool like an old fool.
Thanks for not judging about me, Ellie, by the way.
No, of course not.
What's to judge? Jeez, you were...
You were both in an impossible situation that neither of you would have been placed in if it wasn't for actually terrible, terrible people.
You were horribly manipulated by a terrible person. I mean, we kind of knew that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think I'm starting to be able to see that, and that's why I could even say it out loud, to be honest. So I think we're getting somewhere.
I'm proud of you for being able to. And just know that while we obviously haven't had that experience, we're never going to judge you for that.
I don't see what we would judge you for, quite frankly.
No.
That's the thing.
She was great. You would have liked her.
Yeah. Yeah, and
She
someone
sounds it.
else is responsible for her death.
Yes, and that is more or less the crux of the biscuit here, is much as you may have made decisions that you're not proud of, you would never have been placed in that situation if it weren't for, well, your mother.
I didn't want to say it in front of the lady in love, but we really need to kill your mum.
I'm afraid we do.
I can't see another way, can you?
I wish I could.
Yeah.
One of the bad things about her being an elf is she's had centuries to be too far gone.
She's had centuries to try better and be better, and she ain't tried.
No.
Hundreds of years can be a wonderful thing or a terrible thing.
I'm beginning to understand that.
So you know how there's magic that can
So-
turn you into like another animal or something? Like that time I was a sheep. Is it a sheep? Can we do that to
Yes.
your mum, but like permanently? Because Lady Grace needs a pet, and it'd be nice to find a non-killing solution.
This is out of, like, one of those fairy
Turn
tale
into
books.
a dog for Lady Grace. A
A
pug.
pug. I don't think those things
This
could
is
even
why
bite.
we're friends. Like,
Well, we've got those, like really disapproving looking expressions on their faces, pugs. Yeah.
Yeah, the suitor is better. She looks... Yeah, it's funny. When we first started travelling together, I thought if I met her again, I'd run.
Quite
A little
understandable.
further down the line, I thought maybe I'd bow my head and play nice and figure out a way out of it. And then I thought I'd tell her to go fuck herself. A while later. And now I think I'd just look down and know that I'm bigger. And that would be enough.
There's
You know,
probably a
in-
spell for that, you know. We could
Yeah.
make you literally bigger. You could step on her.
Scamp. You're talking my fucking language.
You know, you're sitting here as living proof, actually, in a lot of ways, that she could have been better, but chose not to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you are proof that having a crappy start and terrible manipulative people raise you does not mean you have to end up like that.
No.
Too fucking right.
That's more power to you if you don't.
Yeah. Enough now. It stops. It stops with me. It's done with me.
Yeah. I mean, that also means we need to do something
kill her.
about your bloody siblings, but that's a whole other thing. Actually, we should...
There is hope for Adrian, maybe.
We should get Adrian and Lady Grace together. They could have, like, a recovery group.
They can have a little
I was obsessed with this woman who was an asshole and destroyed my life.
It can be like a support group, I'll be...
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, you get a lot of Ebon Guard people if we started a support group, I can promise you that.
We could franchise it.
I mean, she's got the money for it. Maybe that would be one of the ways she does better.
Quellena's a problem. Oh, you don't think she's got her whip back, do you?
That's the point, actually.
Oh,
we
God.
really ought to check up on that, knowing what we know now.
Oh, God, we just sent the whip back to my mum.
But
I hate everything.
do you think your mum would give it
For a
back?
fact that she knew about that.
Yeah, we don't necessarily know it got back to her, but also, would your mum give it back to Quilletta?
Probably not.
Well, she'd probably turn it into a, now I have this, and I'm not giving it back to you until you earn it back.
Because I get the
3
feeling...
years and loads of boring dinners, and then you'll have it back. Bastard.
I kind of feel like the only person who hates Quilletta more than us is possibly your mum.
I'm starting
just feels
to think that. And growing up, she really manipulated us into thinking that, I thought that Quillena was the favourite, and I think Quillena thought I was the favourite, and I can see that now. It's really weird.
But she just feels like she's just annoyed by her existence.
I mean, I'm annoyed by her existence, to be fair.
Yeah, me too.
I pick the cat up and look at its face. You don't care about all this shit, do you? No, you don't give a shit. You don't even know any drow except me.
You licks at your wrists.
What do you think of Lady Grace? I agree. Come here. That's the cat.
Nuzzles your neck.
I'm gonna be so weird for ages.
Take your time, this is a lot.
Yeah.
I've got some things about that I need to think about myself after some of those revelations.
Yeah, you do a bit, don't you?
Well, the crazy thing was, right, I hadn't really thought about it until all of that, but I honestly think actually one of the reasons I went into learning about medicine and surgery specifically was because there was one time I couldn't help a person.
That's a good reason. We do something really stupid when we get back.
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to go on a date. We're going to put on fake mustaches and follow you to watch how it goes.
God, I'm gonna be so weird on a date. I can't go on a date. There's a woman expecting me to take her on a date and be normal and cool. What the fuck am I
new
gonna
plan.
do?
I'll put on a wig and I'll go on the date for you. And you can follow in the fake mustache. Will you send him to tell you what to say?
Perfect.
There was definitely a play about this once.
Wow, no, I'm going to be so weird on this date.
Yeah, or we could maybe postpone the date a day or two and give you a chance to recover. That's also fine.
Oh, that might be better. I do actually kind of want it to go well.
We'll do a test date. I'll sit on Corzin's shoulders.
Excellent.
And we'll wear a big coat. And you can take us on a date.
Say things like, I am Mistress Clara, and things like that. And I can just take you around the city for the day. Leave long, sexy pauses between your words and stuff.
Actually, I don't know if I can sit on Corzin's shoulders. Corzin, if I sit on your shoulders, my hooves touch the floor.
Why is it this way around? That's ridiculous.
I can't carry
I did wonder
Corzin.
that. Like, would it not make more sense for me to be on your shoulders?
You are solid muscle. I can't pick you up. I
are
can just
noodly.
about. I can't carry you for any length of time.
They're weak,
No,
they're like a leaf
plus
on
it'd
the
be a
wind.
bit ungainly. Anyway, a thing it might be worth bearing in mind, Celestia, is that, you know what a date is? It is 100% not any of this, and maybe that's what you're going to want when you get back there.
Sounds really nice. I'm gonna have to get her to give me a day, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally
I'm just gonna stare at her and cry and be weird.
Yeah. Maybe we should
Completely
go
understandable.
back home, back to the ship, and make a cake. And
Cake
just
sounds good.
eat cake for a bit.
I'm sure Belle will have no objection to this.
Maybe we should send ahead for cake.
Huh. That's why I'm
We're sending her out?
confused. I'm confused and disorientated because I'm not half a bottle of whiskey deep right now. I think it's the cat. Helps. I also feel like if I drank anything, I'd die, so you know.
Yeah, probably not the best idea right now.
Hug the cat instead.
This is not a mood I think we want to enhance, is it?
No. No, for once, no. Got any more sausages?
You know what? I think I could go a few more. Do you want some?
Yes, please.
Round 2. And he starts frying some more sausages.
Corzin, you start frying up sausages, and with the gentle sizzle of frying meat, you pass into, if you will, a second breakfast before the day continues.
What about second trauma? One trauma.
I don't think he knows about second trauma.
I think I have second trauma in these parts.
We love you all very much.
We really do.
Yeah.
And with the gentle sizzling of sausages, bringing you into as aforementioned second trauma, second breakfast, second trauma. I've just realised it's like we've reached the end of the episode. We didn't. I would have said that we'd be back after these, no doubt, important messages. But there's yeah, this is a full length episode. So
And this is a good end.
and this is a good endpoint. So I guess thank you all very much for listening. Thank you very much for playing.
We love you.
We love you all. Take care.
So much.
Stay safe. We are going to we will have already content warned the shit out of the start of this episode.
Rest assured we have a very safe table with a lot of safeguards in place and we're very careful.
Yeah, we check in about these things.
Yeah. This is the end of the episode. This is not the end of our evening. We will now spend some time looking after each other.
Being
Yes.
down a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
To
Please
borrow-
look after each other as well.
Aftercare is important. But no, we love you all very much. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for playing. And farewell from all of us here at Flintlocks and Fireballs. Fair seas and natural 20s.
I shared with her my secrets fair, and saw her villainy laid bare. I can't escape it even here, my mother's web of power and fear.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.